For more MTG resources and articles, check out paperchampion.net.
Hey, this is Tao at MTG Forge, and I just wanted to do a recap of the Defenders deck. Now, before I continue, I just want to remind you, please like and subscribe if you do like what I'm doing. It really does help to, just to show that you're supporting what I do, but also it's a way for YouTube to, see that my channel actually, has viewers and, puts me up higher in the search results. It really does help my channel to grow, so I appreciate everyone that's, giving me a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. Anyways, let's move on. Now, the videos that I posted were actually all of the matches that I managed to play. This was a super busy week for me, so I didn't get a chance to play too much. Often, I'll play almost twice as many matches as I actually post, but sometimes, you play and the person drops in the first turn or something like that, and then, it's just, they're just not interesting or they're boring. I post videos where I lose as well, so just so you know, I'm not just posting just only the videos where I win and then, just deleting the ones where I lose. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Defenders deck, just after my experiences with it. Now, as I said, I've seen this deck from a long time ago. I kind of got the idea, like people had said there's a Defenders deck out there, and I looked around and there's some combinations of things, but none of them were really that great or really competitive. But it still seemed kind of neat, so I wanted to make it. So, having made this, I have some observations. First one is that I think the deck is actually surprisingly consistent. So, especially given that it's 4 color mana and no fetch lands, it's surprisingly consistent, and doesn't, you don't really get your lands coming in tapped all the time. You actually get the right mana most of the time. Sometimes you get, you don't have the correct mana right away, but it usually comes online pretty fast. That being said, I think that having the 3 different win conditions is great. Now, I wasn't able to use Vent Sentinel very much to attack my opponent, but I think it's still kind of like your third line of attack, just to pressure your opponent. In one of the matches, I managed to get the Vent Sentinel out, and I could have used that to maybe come out with a win. If not for, and then I drew a Banefire and, that was it. Colossus of Akros, again, in another match, I was able to use the Colossus to kind of intimidate my opponent. I think I had both of them out, and that was really, really cool. Banefire by far, especially for only having a 2 in the deck, comes up surprisingly a lot. Maybe I just got lucky, and, you might want to, for instance, replace a Sphinx's Revelation with another Banefire, or maybe a Wall of Omens, or something like that. But surprisingly, I was able to get it fairly consistently. I wasn't able to test the sideboard out very much. What I might suggest is right now I've got a 4-4-4-3, so 4 Fragmentize, 4 Path to Exile, 4 Negate, 3 Leyline. I might do 3-3-3-3-3, so 5 sets of 3. Take out 1 Path, 1 Fragmentize, 1 Negate, and maybe put in something like a Relic of Progenitus or something like that to, for Graveyard Hate or something like that. Just because I found some of the control-y decks with Graveyard Recursion, and also things like Dredge are still popular, but I don't really have that many ways to deal with them. So having some Graveyard Hate, might come in handy. I also had a Face the Tarmogoyf as well, so that that kind of could have been that problem could have been helped as well. The last thing I want to say is that it seems like no one wants to play against Defenders. It's the kind of deck where I think everybody thinks that they should win, and pretty much every time I beat someone with this, in the first match out of 3, they just drop the game. And I'm really surprised about that. Usually you can sideboard. Many of the matches were really close, and it just seemed like the opponent just got really, really, tilted, and then just just wanted to drop the game. It was almost like flipping the table type thing. In one of the matches, it was pretty funny because the opponent did get pretty salty. But I mean, it is what it is. You're playing against Defenders, and it's funny that people will play all sorts of cheap combos, against you, recurring Cryptic Command over and over again, or putting Silence on Icecrown Scepter. But then once you pull out your infinite mana combo on them, they see it as being really unfair. Okay, if you're just playing a straight up creature deck like Stompy or something like that, then okay, I could see like you saying like, okay, you went to an infinite combo and that's kind of a cheap, janky way to win. Okay, great. That's kind of true. But if you're pulling out like, like your recurring cryptic command over and over and over again, or you put silence on me on my upkeep on every turn, you can't complain. Like, come on. Anyways, last thing I want to say is I understand it is kind of janky, and a lot of people are not going to want to like be beaten by this deck. But man, oh man, does it ever feel good to cast like a Banefire for 50 damage or something like that. It's so funny when your opponent thinks they have you, and then you cast like last second, you just tap everything for like 1,000,000 mana, and cast an uncounterable Banefire against them, and they just flat out lose. Anyways, that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.